So here's the big question. You're interested in value investing and valuing and evaluating businesses on a deep level, but you don't know how, even after researching for hours, probably dozens of hours, hundreds of hours on the internet, and because nobody else shows you how to do it. This podcast has all those answers and much more about value investing and finance. My name is Jason Rivera. Welcome to Value Investing in Your Car.
Hey, Jason here. Today's episode of Value Investing in Your Car, I'm going to explain or answer the question, what is value investing really? Before I get to that, though, I need to let you know you can get this series as a podcast anywhere in the world for free on all major podcasting platforms, Stitcher, Anchor, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and more. You get this as part of the Value Investing in Your Car podcast anywhere in the world for free. So, over the years, value investing, or I've been doing this for 14 years now. So value investing to me, I know what it means to me, but it means something different to everybody, and especially to kind of new beginners as value investing. They think of, at least what I did, and I'm seeing from people starting now, is when they get into value investing, it's overwhelming to a lot of people. So today I want to clarify what value investing really is, kind of at its deepest level, and kind of give you some real world examples of how you can use this skill in multiple different ways. So what value investing really is on its deepest level is buying an asset that you think is worth up here for a price down here. That's it. This is like it's like using coupons or buying stuff when it goes on sale in a store. It's essentially what value investing is, except instead of food or clothing items in most cases, we're talking about stocks or businesses or real estate or something like that in terms of in the investment space. But when it boils down to everything, that's essentially what it is. Buying something you think is worth up here for a price down here. That's it. Pretty simple. People complicate it a lot more than that. Essentially, it's as I think Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett both said, is any intelligent investing is value investing. So as long as you're making intelligent, rational decisions, you're essentially value investing. And again, people like to complicate it more than it really is. I don't know why that is. Frankly, I've not figured that out still after being in this arena for 14 years. I'm not really sure why that happens, but it does. And again, when people first start out, they get overwhelmed about all the stuff they think they need to learn. And again, I went through the same thing as well. Some real world examples of value investing outside of the typical realm we talk about, which is stocks and real estate and that kind of stuff. So years ago, I had a clothing resale business on eBay. And I would go into places like Goodwill and Salvation Army and other thrift stores to buy clothes that I could buy for $4 or $5 and then resell in most cases for $15 to $25 on eBay. So after, what I was doing was I was playing a little bit of arbitrage, of course, because I could buy something for $4 that I could sell for $15 to $25. But I was trying to make the spread, which is the arbitrage part of it. This is also value investing. It's a part of value investing as well. Buying something for $4 or $5 that I could resell for $15 to $25. Again, essentially that's what you do when you buy a stock. Buy it for $5, you think it's worth $10, you buy it because of the spread, the margin of safety, in other words. So I've done this in the past with clothes and other items I used to sell on eBay and Amazon. For example, one pair, I think it was Versace, I can't remember, Giorgio Armani or Versace, one of the two. Pair looked like it was brand new jeans I found in a thrift store in Rapid City, South Dakota, where I used to live at the time. And I bought it for $2 and I sold it for $80 on Amazon. Another example, I found certain clothing items, Ralph Polo Ralph Lauren, shirts, the Purple Label shirts, which I think are made in Italy, if I remember serving right. And they're the highest kind of level of Polo Ralph Lauren shirts. I would find those on occasion for $4, $5, $6, and I would sell them for $100 or $150. The reason I stopped that business is because you don't find those kind of things very often. You make the spread on $15 to $25 clothing items, mostly shirts for me, that I was selling. But after you consider the cost of the item, the shipping costs, eBay's fees, you're really only making, or at least at the time, I was making $3 to $5 per shirt on average. So most of my money, I think actually all of my money went back in inventory, so I could keep building things. So there wasn't much room for profits, and I kind of realized that as the more I learned about value investing, as I was doing this business, that there was no way to take the kind of profits and cash flow out of the business. So that's why I stopped doing that, because you have to constantly keep reinvesting funds to build your inventory higher and higher. That's a real world example. Another real world example is something we're dealing with right now, which is in cruise ships. So Carnival, and well, all the cruise ship lines, but Carnival in this case is, I saw the other day they're selling 18 of their cruise lines, or 18 of their cruise ships, because their business has pretty much come to a complete stop during this coronavirus stuff. And they're selling 18 of their cruise ships to raise cash. You can use value investing to buy undervalued assets in terms of stocks, in terms of clothing, like I just talked about, food. We talked about retail already, buying at a discount. Also cruise ships. If, for example, and this is just an example. I know nothing about this arena other than I've read a book or two on how the cruise ship industry started. I've never really evaluated cruise ships on a deep level myself. I've looked at their financials and stuff, but I've never really taken the time to evaluate them. But just from a business perspective, if cruise ships are normally, if we ever go back to normal, if they're normally worth $50 million for to buy or to create or manufacture, I guess, I don't know what the proper term is, and you can get one for, say, $10 million, is it worth it? Could be. But if you have to wait 4 or 5 years for things to get back to normal, and cruise ships to kind of be, again, normalized, travel on cruise ships to be normalized again at full capacity, is it worth you waiting 4 or 5 years while also locking your capital up in the cruise ship, and it's kind of just sitting there for a while? Again, we don't, as of this writing or as of this recording, cruise ships were supposed to pick up August, September. Now they've been slowed down to pick up, I think, November 1st, as of this recording, which, again, we'll see if that happens. But is that worth it? It could be. You're buying an undervalued asset, but then you have to consider other things. This is where value investing gets confusing for most people, because then things like opportunity costs come in, which is essentially having your $10 million locked up in that cruise ship for 4 or 5 years potentially, earning any returns. Are you fine with that? Are you fine waiting that long to earn any kind of return on your $10 million? This is where value investing gets a little bit more complicated, but it's still pretty straightforward, because what you're looking for is to earn a high return on your assets. Again, that's part of value investing. So number one is margin of safety, or the kind of spread. Number two is the return you're going to earn, or you expect to return on your assets. So if you are comfortable with the returns, if you're comfortable with the margin of safety, most of the time you should buy things. If, again, you have the capital available, or you can raise the capital, because these things limit your downside, which, again, is all about value investing. You're limiting your downside risk. You're limiting the amount of money or the amount of capital you could lose. So, for example, let's take the cruise ship example even further. So let's say in normal times, cruise ships of Carnival's size, and again, I don't even know how many passengers they hold. I haven't done the analysis on that. But let's say they're worth $50 million in good times. You can buy it for $10 million, but you're going to have to wait 3, 4, 5 years for kind of normal operations to pick it back up. If you're comfortable with that, and then you can kind of hold out and wait that long, you can earn a tremendous return on your assets. Again, I don't know what the prices are. I haven't done that analysis. But at full cruise ships, thousands of people times if you do a short trip from like I live in Tampa area, so they do cruise ships out of here. So a short trip, I think, is 3 days to like the Bahamas or something like that. So if you do a short line, you can do those 120 times ish a year, times thousands of passengers paying hundreds of dollars. You can make your return back pretty quick. But again, that's assuming things go back to normal. Frankly, I wouldn't assume that right now. But is it a potential opportunity? Yes. So this is number 3. Value investing is all about looking for opportunities everywhere. There is a saying, I think Buffett coined it, but I'm not sure on that. I know he says it, but I don't know if he coined it, is invest when there's blood in the streets. So anytime there's any kind of crisis anywhere in the world. Years ago, it was the Greek debt crisis that I was looking at. Then it was I think it was the whole Euro crisis. Right now, today, we're seeing issues in hotels, in hospitality industry, like cruise ships, restaurants, anything kind of related to tourism or travel. There's potentially massive opportunity in this arena right now, if you have the capital available to invest in this arena and you have the knowledge and it's in your circle of competence. I don't know if there are opportunities in this. There are opportunities. I don't know if they're valuable enough opportunities in the cruise ship arena right now, but it's something I've begun looking at. I don't have $10 million to spare, but if I found a great opportunity, I could try to raise that capital. But these are the 3 main things you need to keep in mind with any kind of value investing: margin of safety, potential upside return or investment returns, and opportunities. And when you kind of learn the basic value investing mindset and skill sets, you can value anything. So for example, in the past, I've not only evaluated stocks and owned stocks in the portfolio that I manage, obviously, and write about stocks on the blog and these videos and stuff like that, but I've looked at buying a marina in the past. I've looked at buying apartment complexes in the past. I've looked at buying self-storage facilities in the past. Right now, just yesterday, I found a website where you can buy cruise ships. So I was looking at cruise ships. Now, I've gotten more serious about the apartment complexes and self-storage units, stuff like that. Because when you go into a different arena, you have to learn the specific terminology and techniques on how to value everything. But if you have the basic kind of framework set up from value investing in stocks, for example, which is what most people think of value investing, is they think about stocks only. All you have to do is learn the terminology to invest in cruise ships or clothing or selling stuff on eBay or on Amazon, or on apartment complexes or on self-storage units. This opens you up to massive opportunities in all these arenas. And it's not even just stocks. Yes, I think of stocks as parts of an entire business. Most people don't. But I even looked at years ago, I think 4 or 5 years ago now, I sent a letter to a public company, a $20 million public company, that I said, hey, if you do XYZ things, with my knowledge after analyzing your financial statements and being a shareholder and looking at all of your SKUs on Amazon, these are my recommendations of what you improve. I'll help you improve them. In exchange, I think it was in exchange for either a monthly fee, or equity in the company, because I was already a shareholder. I wanted to help because that's all they were struggling. That's all they could improve. They didn't respond, and now they're liquidating the entire company because there are no opportunities. But there was an opportunity, but they just don't know how to see it because they didn't have knowledge. Either that, or the second generation, which was coming along because the founder was, I think, 89, 90 years old. The second generation just came on and didn't care, and they wanted to make the money, which, fair enough for them. Either way, I don't know what their family situation was. I don't know what their agreements were. but there are opportunities everywhere. So value investing gives you the ability and the skill set to see opportunities. And it's a necessary skill set now, especially with everything, all the things it opens you up to evaluating potentially for investment, but also outside of this. So I broaden this even to how can I improve myself? How can I improve my life with my kids and my wife and my family? How can I improve marketing? How can I improve everything? That's another big part of value investing that I've personally added to my thinking. But the main three things that value investing really is: buying an asset that you think is worth here for here. So an undervalued price, margin of safety, whatever you want to call it. Second thing, making sure that if you do buy something down here, that you can earn this spread at some point to increase the value of your holdings and increase your capital or build wealth, whatever you want to do with it. And then spotting opportunities. These are the three things that essentially make up value investing. Yes, there are things like valuation that are important. Of course, valuation is also important. But people make valuation a lot harder than it is too, which is another video I'll probably talk about. But today I just want to talk about the three main things that make up value investing, and they're a lot simpler than most people make out. So I hope this helped. I hope this clarified some things for you. If you're a newer investor, or if you're a newer value investor, I've been there. Things can be very intimidating, very overwhelming. We've got a couple courses, or we've got many courses, but we've got two brand new courses for beginning level investors for only $1. Value investing for beginners and mindset of a world-class value investor. Those links for that will be below this. We've also got our masterclass, which helps you build on the foundation, actually teaches you valuations, go through case studies on things to think about when you're evaluating an investment, all that kind of stuff. And we have some free resources. That's a paid course as well. And we have some free resources below this video as well to help you begin learning how to become a great value investor, how to essentially become a great opportunist isn't the right word. How to become great at spotting opportunities, how to get great at thinking of different ways to make money with these skills and these opportunities that value investing opens up for you. So I hope this helped. I'd love to hear your comments below. But to me, those are the three main things when it boils down to it that make up value investing. And again, I've said this many times before, I like to make things as simple as possible. To me, those are the three things: margin of safety, investment returns, and opportunities. Those are the three things to me that kind of make up value investing when you boil it down to everything. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think I missed something? Do you think I should add something? Did I not explain something well enough? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, love, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we release a new video. We release new videos all the time. If you're listening on the podcast, like, love, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Download. We'd also appreciate a review, because the more reviews, views, and listens we get to our content, the more people we can help. And make sure to check out our free and paid resources below this, in the links below this, so you can take your knowledge to the next level, your investing and value investing knowledge to the next level. Until next time, have a good day. Thanks. Bye.